Welcome back to Contendo's series of training management system tutorials. In this tutorial, we're going to delve into the data import wizards, which make it easy to populate your TMS using Microsoft Excel spreadsheets. You'll learn how to create and import bulk training certificates, create multiple groups and subgroups, add your whole team, and you can also import any previously completed training certificates to get your TMS up to date. Let's take an in-depth look at all of these import wizards. The first import wizard is the certificate register, which will let you create all of the certificates that you want your TMS to track. The first step is to download our Excel template by clicking on this green Download button. Depending on your browser, this might download it to your computer or give you the option to open it with your default spreadsheet application. I'm using Firefox, so I'm going to select Open with Microsoft Excel and click OK to open up the template. As you can see, this spreadsheet is designed to make it easy to add multiple training certificates. I'm going to create one called Bear Awareness. For category, I'm going to put it in safety training, but if you've created your own categories, feel free to go that route. So for system, I'm going to set it as safety. I'm going to leave confidential unchecked. I'm not going to allow users to upload this one. I'm going to set an expiry, so I'll set it for 3 years or 36 months. The next option is to pick the reminder intervals. I'm going to add just one reminder to be sent 30 days before it expires. Finally, I'm going to designate new user as the person to receive the notification. If you're just tuning in now, we created new user in one of the earlier tutorials. This spreadsheet includes all of the information required to create certificates manually. It just makes it much easier to add many at once. Once you've completed your spreadsheet, make sure to save your file because the next step is uploading it. So let's click Select File, browse to the file, and click Open. Once you've done that, you can click the blue Import Template button to proceed to the review page. If there are any errors in your upload, they will show up here. But since everything looks good to me, I'm going to click the green Save Certificate Type button to complete the import. The second import wizard will create your groups and subgroups, linking your training types to automate your training assignments based on the different groups you define here. Like we did earlier with the certificates, the first step is generating the Excel template. Click the green Generate button, select Open With, and click OK to generate the file. As you can see, it generates a current file, which includes all of your training types, even the Bear Awareness cert we just created. Since all organizations are structured differently, defining your groups is entirely up to you. What's important is that you understand that you'll be assigning your people to the subgroups you create here. Let's create a group called Excel Imports for this example. We'll make a subgroup called Sample Subgroup, and we'll link Bear Awareness, Fall Awareness, Hazard Awareness, Site Orientation, and WMIS to it. This means that any user you add to the subgroup Sample Subgroup will have those 5 mandatory training certificates assigned to them automatically. Let's add a second subgroup to the Excel Imports group, and we'll be creative and call it another subgroup. For this one, we'll assign Confined Space, Hazard Awareness, and WMIS. Let's save and go back to the TMS to upload the file. Click Select File, and we'll pick the Group Training Matrix Import file. Click Open, and click the blue Import Template button to proceed to the review page. Here, you can see the Excel Imports group we created along with the 2 subgroups. You can also see that we've assigned 5 certificates to the first one and 3 certs to the second one. Since this looks good to me, I'm going to save it by clicking on the green Save Groups and Assignments button. We're almost there, only a couple more wizards to go. So you've had all of your team certificates added, and you've shaped your TMS into groups and subgroups that make sense for your organization. The next step is to add your whole team to your TMS. Since we've followed the previous steps, we can generate a user import template that is specific to your company. Let's create it by clicking the green Generate button now. We'll select Open with Microsoft Excel and click OK to open up the template. Notice that all of the groups we created earlier are added to this spreadsheet for us to easily define where each employee fits within your TMS. Let's make some users. We'll call the first one Excel Jenkins with the email address excel.jenkins@contendo.ca. Now let's give Mr. Jenkins the job title of Imported User, and we'll give him the password, password1, with a capital P. This password is case sensitive, so keep that in mind. If you leave the password field blank, the system will email an auto-generated one, but since I don't want to email my team just yet, I'm going to leave it as password1. Next, we need to select the groups associated with Mr. Jenkins. Let's put our imaginary friend in the Excel Imports Another Subgroup group, which we created in an earlier tutorial. I'm going to jump ahead and add a couple more right now. We now have 3 users to create, but the idea here is that you can add your whole team with this import. So let's save this file and we'll import it to the TMS. Click Select File and pick the TMS user import file we just created and click Open to select the file. Click the blue Import Template. This will bring you to a review page where you can see all of the users we just added to the spreadsheet. If you want the TMS to email account information to all of these new users, check off this Email User Credentials button before clicking the green Save Users button. I'm going to leave it unchecked since these sample accounts aren't real. We've now created your certs, created groups and subgroups, and added your users, but we have yet to use this wizard to edit the details of each of the certificates we created earlier. Using this wizard to complete your team's certificates is a 2-step process where the first step is creating group and subgroup specific templates to complete. Let's make one now. Click on the Parent Group drop-down and select the parent group you'd like to address. Since we've been using the Excel Imports group for our examples, we'll continue with that trend. Next, we have the option of selecting as many subgroups as you like. We created Sample Subgroup and Another Subgroup earlier, so I'm going to select both of them for this example. Let's click on the green Generate Template button to continue. Select Open With, and click OK. Now here, we can see a template which includes a lot of stuff we've already created, but there are 3 columns to complete which will help us to capture the certifications your team members have already earned. The most important column in this whole sheet is column H, which captures the issue date of any certificate completed by your team. Since we've already defined all of the validity periods of each certificate, issue date will dictate the expiry date. Let's fill out this spreadsheet. So for Excel Jenkins's confined space, we'll set the provider as WorkSafe New Brunswick. We'll type a sample registration number here, and we'll set the issue date to April 30th. I'm going to go ahead and fill out the rest of this sheet now. Now that the sheet is complete, let's save it and insert it into the TMS. Click on the gray number 5 User Certificates Import to import this Excel sheet. Select the file, click Open, and then click the blue Import Template button to go to the review page. Here, you can see all of the certificates we just uploaded. Notice the column that the TMS created for expiry dates. If you're happy with what you see, click the green Save Certificate button to complete the import. Feel free to repeat steps 4 and 5 as many times as you like to capture all of your team's training. That's it for the Imports Wizards tutorial. The next tutorial is going to focus on running reports. See you soon!